Hey everyone, how we doing out there in Final Cut Pro TV land? We're going to talk about Final Cut Pro, whatever news there is. We're going to talk about the Creative Summit, which is the biggest news coming up for Final Cut Pro. And we have a discount code if you haven't bought your Final Cut Pro Creative Summit ticket yet. And somebody could win a free pass to the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Yes, you might. Just might be you. There are some conditions about that. So let me just check one thing here. Turn that off. So let's put that. Actually, that's okay there. I am going to change that. Oh, I forgot about that. That is not, okay. We're going to take that off there then, and we're going to put up something else. Bear with me one second. And we're going to edit background, none. Okay, and we're going to text color, drop the opacity a little bit, add, there. Put that up here in the upper left. There we go. So we have a few comments already, of course. Any suggestions on which devices I can use to capture VHS, SVHS to transfer them to editable streams, as some of my legacy USB adapters are slowly dying. I tried Elgato pass-through. So I have an old, very expensive AJA box that I use for transferring SVHS and component and composite video. So I use that. Go on Amazon and look at the reviews is what I would do. Go to Amazon and look at the reviews and see which ones. I think some of those work with the new version of the Mac OS. Some of them don't. Good morning from Brazil. How you doing, Rogerio? And of course, our good evening from Helsinki, Finland. Richard, how you doing, Yari? I'm doing fine here, good old East Coast of the USA. It's rainy today. It's very, very rainy. So I figured I'd just check in once again, Saturday, Final Cut TV and coffee. So I'm going to the Creative Summit. How many of you are actually going, have already signed up for the Creative Summit? I'm just curious. Typically, they get 150 attendees, plus they have their FMC staff, plus they have the presenters. So you're talking about 200 people, plus or minus, something like that. I'm curious this year, since the price is so low, compared to previous years, which is with $1,000, this year it's only $299. And wait a minute, let me pull this up. And we can give you, hold on a second. Let me see here. That's that. Here we go. Let's do this. Where is the graphics? Graphics. Why is that showing that? It's odd. Graphics should not be showing that, but it is for some reason. Let me do a new screen. Here we go. I'll make this graphics. case we get any more for today, I'm just going to move this up the chain of command. So Ecamm Live, which I'm using, it's like Photoshop. It's got a lot of layers of things. So now I'm going to add, what am I going to add? I'm going to add this. There we go. Add myself, and I'm going to change the shape to Squircle. There we go. Border width, change that a little bit. There we go. So over here, use the code FCP Radio, over when you book your Final Cut Pro Creative Pass, and you get 15% off. Hey, it's like $45, something like that. It's a nice little boost to people that want to go to Final Cut TV. Thanks, Richard. Thumbs up from Cape Town. We'll take a look. So, yeah. Another Saturday morning with you from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, also on the East Coast of the good old USA. And we got a nice picture-in-picture. Yeah, that's what, that's one of the things we do. I'm going to change this because I can. Text color. Change that. Change that. There we go. That's a little better. I'll put it over there. There we go. That's our new situation. Thank you very much for the thumbs up already. We already got some thumbs up. So we're going to have, let me take this out of there. It's my belt for my lawnmower and my brass slide for my guitar. I use brass when I play slide guitar. We'll take them out of the shot. So the biggest news is the Creative Summit. Now, for those that are using Final Cut Pro 10.6.10, I'm presuming that it's working well for you. I'm still on 10.6.9. I didn't have the issue with FX Factory plugins, so I'm still on 10.6.9. I'm presuming that everybody is doing well with 10.6.9. Let me just check one thing. Hold on one second, please. Just going to change one thing. Bear with me. Something I forgot to do. That has now been corrected. That's something I had to do. Let's see what we got here. Good morning. Having fantastic morning. Got my iPhone 15 Pro Max, just recorded in Apple Log, ProRes, import DaVinci Resolve later to add LUTs. Color grade, it's amazing. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve, the color workflow, of course, is fantastic. It's really, really good. I've been watching some tutorials on how to color correct in DaVinci, and it's just really, really sophisticated. Final Cut Pro has both the color board and the color wheels. For the longest time, the Final Cut Pro team, we just had the color board, and then they added the color wheels. 10.4.4 was it? Something like that. I don't remember, but for the longest time, they just had the color board. And they said, oh, that's all you need. You don't need color wheels. Color board for years, they said that. And then they finally capitulated and gave us color wheels. I use both. Color board is really nice for simple adjustments, just basic things, and it's very intuitive, especially for somebody who's not a colorist. So I use both of them. But when I watch the tutorials in DaVinci Resolve, I'm like, wow, things you can do in DaVinci are just, with color correction, of course, that's what professionals use, are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So one of the things I just got, by the way, I just got this recently, just got this yesterday, actually. So I have this Shure MV88 microphone. I've had it for a long time. It's really, really fantastic microphone. This is for Lightning port on an iPhone, and this is probably one of the best sounding mics available for the iPhone anywhere. Well, I no longer have a Lightning port on my new iPhone, right? I even got a little extension cable. I got this Lightning to USB-C converter. It does not work. It does not work. So it even says music on there. It's meant for audio, but it's not working. The conversion from Lightning to USB-C for this microphone is not working. And this is my favorite. If I'm going to record just with the microphone on my iPhone, this is my favorite mic to use. It's really, really good. So I went out and got the new version 4 that has USB-C, and it works fantastically. This is actually a heavier version than the other one. It's a heavier, it's more like a tank, built like a tank. It doesn't have some of the options, but the app that it has, the Shure Motive app, you can add compression, you can add EQ, you can add a limiter, and you can change your volume in the iPhone app. And this is really my favorite microphone. It's not a shotgun, so it doesn't do shotgun kind of things, but just recording outside, the quality is superb. Shure microphones or studio microphones. So this is the latest one I got. I've done some testing with it. I'll probably do some more testing during the week and see if we get something to put online about it, but it's really a great microphone. But anyway, it's working. What I had to do, though, I got it yesterday. I plugged it in. It lights up green, so it's connecting to the iPhone, but the Motive app wasn't seeing the mic. So the Motive app is where you adjust compression, where you adjust limiter. Thank you for the thumbs up. Where you adjust EQ, where you adjust volume. It wasn't seeing the microphone, even though the microphone was lit, so I know it was connected. So I'm saying, what's going on? This doesn't work with the iPhone? Well, the issue is, what I had to do was I had to go and download the Mac version of the Shure app. So there's a Mac version of the Shure app, downloaded that, connected it to my MacBook Pro, and it said firmware updates available. That's what it was. I updated the firmware, so you couldn't do that on the native app in the iPhone because it wasn't recognizing the microphone. So it couldn't see if it needed the firmware. It's kind of a catch-22. Download the app it's a free app for the Mac. Go through the steps to make sure that's working. Plug it into your Mac, and the firmware became available. Downloaded the firmware, updated the mic, connected it back to my iPhone. Beautiful. The app now sees the microphone. I can adjust compression. I can adjust the limiter on and off. I can adjust EQ. I can adjust a high pass filter. I can adjust the volume of that microphone. It's really a great sounding microphone, much better than the generic ones that you see all over the place. Now, it's not a shotgun. It's not a shotgun. You have to be in proximity of your audio. It's not going to do like an isolation. It has the ability to adjust from 60 degrees to 120 degrees field of audio and stuff. And it does have stereo or mono. It does have it has a front-facing capsule and a back-facing capsule. When you do this way, sideways, there's a capsule here and there's a capsule here. So if I'm doing an interview with somebody and I put it in this mode with the app, it's picking me up from this side and the other person up from the other side. So it has a front-facing and back-facing capsule. It also has a capsule from this direction, depending on what mode you put it in. That's all adjustable with the app, though. That's why I needed the app. You can't do it unless you have the app working. Thank you for the thumbs up. Good morning from Sao Paulo, and then we got a good morning from Peoria, Illinois. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Dongles are the second income Apple source. Dongles. Yeah, you mean, well, the thing is I got a dongle to convert Lightning to USB-C, but it doesn't work with that microphone. I think there's something in that microphone that's not communicating properly. Whether that can be fixed with the firmware is not, that would be fantastic. Then I have two microphones. I just got this one. I love it. The USB-C version. It's really great. It's for specific. If I'm sitting down with somebody at a table and they're right in front of me and I'm on this side, I'll use that mic because I can get both of us very, very quickly. I don't have to mic anybody up with with the lapel mic or anything. Normally, though, I have a shotgun on this setup, a shotgun, and Sennheiser MKE 400. It's a medium shotgun for front-facing talent, and I have my trusty old DJI wireless lapel on me. So my voice is right here, and their voice is picked up by a shotgun. If I don't have time to do that, or I'm not going to be able to mic the person up, I'll use this microphone. It's very easy to switch in and out. Those are my two favorites. But anyway, let me go back to that comment a second here. Dongles are second income from Apple source. So if Apple makes a dongle that makes this microphone work, I would buy it because then I'd have a spare version of the microphone. Right now, the dongle that I got, it's an audio dongle, Lightning to USB-C, doesn't work with that microphone. Do you have any tutorials on color grading and adding LUTs in DaVinci Resolve? Can't wait to play with it later on to go. I will watch this video about your summit experience, etc. later. Take care. Absolutely. What gear will you take to the summit? Boy, that's a loaded question, isn't it? The question should be, what gear are you not going to take to the summit? I'm taking all kinds of stuff. I have a dozen different cables that I'm taking. I have 3 different microphone setups. I just showed you one. This is a Shure MV88 Plus. I have my DJI wireless mic. I have an MKE 400 that mounts on my, it mounts on my, as a matter of fact, I did a video on this, mounting this. This is my gimbal that I have. It's the Insta360. It's my favorite gimbal. So this microphone is on here now, but I also can mount a Sennheiser microphone on here. I can mount the MKE 400 on here. It's all adjustable. So this is what I'll be taking. Now, I'll be shooting in different stages. Sometimes I'm just going to pull my iPhone out of my pocket and shoot handheld. I don't have time to put it in the gimbal, whatever. I'll just pull it out and shoot handheld. I'll always shoot 4K. Some of it will be ProRes log. Some will be regular H.265. When I have time to set up, like when I'm going around, the iPhone is going to be used when I'm going around talking to people. I'll probably set up the gimbal and use that because the gimbal makes it a much nicer experience walking with the iPhone. So I have 3 different microphone setups. They're all simple. Oh, the third one is the MKE 400 is mounted on the gimbal. I also have an MKE 600, Sennheiser MKE 600, if I'm doing an interview with somebody and I'm standing in front of the camera. I'll have my DJI mic here, but they'll have the shotgun microphone pointed at them so they can talk directly in to the camera. That's what I'll be doing. Thank you for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. So as we get closer to the Creative Summit, next week we have a panel coming on, Creative Summit panel. We're going to be talking about the Creative Summit. Probably it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday in the afternoon Eastern time, probably about 2 o'clock Eastern. There'll be 3 or 4 people, and we'll be talking about the summit. There are people that are going to the summit, et cetera, et cetera. So look forward to that. But I'm curious how many of you are going to the summit at this point. I want to get an idea of what's going on with that. So to get back to your question, what gear will you take to the summit? I'll take my MacBook Pro the M1 Max, because I have to update. I have to do I do live stream from here, Ecamm Live. Ecamm does not work on the iPhone. If I'm doing my iPhone 15 Pro Max, of course, that'll be my main one of my main cameras and my main streaming. If I shoot video, what I'm going to do is I shoot video all the time. I've been shooting video. This would be my 5th year of shooting at the Creative Summit. So I'll shoot video all the time, but I'm not going to put up all the clips, upload them. First off, I'm on cellular connection. So I'll edit them in LumaFusion on my iPhone. I can edit them in LumaFusion on my iPhone. Short little clips. I can put titles on it. I can do just the audio if I want to. If I want to do any color correction or anything else fancy, I can do that with LumaFusion on the iPhone. The iPad version of Final Cut Pro does not work on the phone. I'm not carrying the iPad around with me. That's the other thing. The iPad version of Final Cut Pro, they have the Pro camera in the iPad. I am not going to carry an iPad around to get a Pro camera. That's ridiculous. I think people look ridiculous when I haven't seen many people in the wild, but on the Apple things, they're holding an iPad and they're filming with an iPad. Now, here's the exception. If you're in a studio setting, that's fine. The iPad is on a tripod, everything's still. It's a nice, gigantic, big screen. But carrying it around, filming people? No. I'm not going to be doing that. Give us the Camera Pro app on our phones. We paid $1,500 for these things. Besides the cameras that I just talked about, besides the microphones, I have a monopod that I'll be taking with me. And I have another camera that I'm taking with me. So I'm a media sponsor. I'm a media partner. Sorry, not a sponsor, media partner with Future Media Concepts. So I do a lot of filming for them. Ruggiero says, will any summit presentation or session be streamed online? I'm not able to attend the summit at the venue. No. The answer to that is no. They're not going to stream anything. This is definitely an in-person event. Now, when I say no, Future Media Concepts is not doing anything. I'm going to be streaming live some of the time. I'm going to be filming all the time, but I'll be streaming live probably 2 or 3 times a day. I'll try to do one quick one in the morning, maybe one mid-afternoon, and maybe one in the evening. I'll be streaming live from this channel, Richard Taylor TV. Absolutely. But it's not going to be the presentations. I mean, I might do a short clip to let you see what it looks like in one of the rooms, maybe. But there's other things that are going on. I mean, we're going to Apple Day. Well, let's go look at that real quick. What the heck's going on over there? The whole Final Cut Pro Creative Summit is, let me see, where is that? Where is that? Graphics, 4 up, nope. Don't want that. Looking for my scene that I set up. I have a scene here somewhere. Backyard graphics, overhead, guest, FaceTime, comments. All right, let me do this. Let me go to there, and then let me go to graphics, and then let me go to here, and then let me go to There we go. Let me turn this off. And then we're going to publish. Actually, yeah, and we'll go to publish. There we go. There we go. Let me just do this too. Here we go. So this is the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. This is their website. Monday morning, we're going to have a keynote with iJustine. If you don't know iJustine, she's a YouTube influencer personality, has 6 million followers, something like that. She's been at the 2018 Creative Summit and the 2019 Creative Summit both. So that's what we're doing first thing. Now, the program is not completely filled out yet, but this is what we got. Let's go here. So Apple Day is November the 6th. So first thing in the morning, we're going to have the keynote with iJustine. Then we have, I'm going to go out of preview mode, publish. Then we have, so 9 o'clock Monday morning, we have the keynote with iJustine, welcoming ceremony, keynote with iJustine. She'll talk with us for a little bit. After that, we will have a second presentation. 9 o'clock is iJustine with the keynote. Approximately 10 o'clock is another presentation with a keynote, not a keynote, another presentation. Then we're going to have lunch, 11:30-ish. Then we're going to Apple Park. We're going to Apple Spaceship Campus at that point. So the answer to your question, any summit presentation be streamed online. It's not going to be streamed live. I will be reporting live. I'm not going to be doing the sessions. Now, in the past, they recorded the sessions, but it's just the keynote that the presenter is presenting. They might do a package where you can get those if you want. You can get a package and after the event, but that's just the presentation. There's other things that go on, meeting up in the hotel lobby and stuff like that. That will not be. I'll be doing some of that streaming. Are you using the Blackmagic camera app? Is it the Filmic Pro Killer? Well, I don't know if it's the Filmic Pro Killer. It does things that the Filmic. Listen, one of the biggest aggravations to me with Filmic Pro is you can't switch cameras when you're recording. If I want to switch lenses with the Filmic Pro app, it takes 5 steps to switch the lens, switch the camera. Stop recording in 4 other steps and then start recording again. That makes it, I can't use it most of the time because most of the things I'm always switching my camera lenses. Thank you for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. So the Blackmagic app you can switch the cameras just like the native camera app and like a lot of other pro camera apps, you can switch the lenses once you start recording. For some reason, Filmic Pro, 5 steps to switch a camera with Filmic Pro. So the Blackmagic camera app is looking very, very promising. It's got a one bug fix already. Here's something that the Blackmagic camera app allows you to do that the native camera app does not. So when you hook up the native camera app and you switch to ProRes log, if you're 30 frames or 24 frames, you can do it in camera. Your only choice, though, with the native camera app is ProRes HQ, which is a high data rate. With the Blackmagic camera app, you can record to external SSD, and you can record many different versions with ProRes log. You can record HQ, you can record regular ProRes, you can record ProRes LT, and you can record H.265 in Apple Log. Now, my friend Ian Anderson was on last week. He said that the data rate is very low, and there's no adjustment for that at this point for H.264, so he wouldn't recommend it. But recording ProRes instead of HQ, come down a step to regular ProRes or ProRes LT in Log is a really, really big benefit. Why doesn't Apple do that? Blackmagic did it. Apple does not. It's available, or Blackmagic couldn't do it. So, very, very good. So let's go back to the program. So here's the program. Apple Day, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be the keynote, then another presentation, then lunch, then we go to Apple Park. So that is Apple Day on November the 6th, and we'll stay at Apple Park from lunch all the way through the rest of the day. Typically, what will happen at Apple Park, we'll get a presentation from the Final Cut Pro team on the latest and greatest things of Final Cut Pro. Sometimes they have different people who've made a film or TV show on Final Cut Pro, but they'll show us the latest, whatever the latest is. If there's going to be if there's going to be Final Cut Pro 10.7, this is where we're going to see it first. Presentation from the Final Cut Pro team. They'll do their walkthrough, the presentation. After that, typically we go to a demo room to get hands-on with the latest version of Final Cut Pro and the latest version of any, let's say, any new hardware that they have. So one of the things that I did, so that'll be on Monday. We'll go through Tuesday in a minute. One of the things that I did, I have multiple SSDs that I have. And I have this 20 gigabits per second USB-C cable. This is not 10 bits, this is 20 gigabits per second. So this is twice the speed that the iPhone has. I don't want to be bottlenecked with that. And I've tried these out. This is an old T3. This is a T7, and I have a T7 Shield, and I tried all three of these with the iPhone to see what kind of real-world speed tests that we have. Okay, I wanted to do some speed tests with my brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max and external SSD drives. So I have three SSD drives. The top one is a Samsung T3, the middle one is a Samsung T7, bottom one is a Samsung T7 Shield. And I use a 20 gigabits per second short USB-C cable. First, I wanted to test the iPhone itself, their internal SSD, and as you can see, it's very, very fast. This is the iPhone internal SSD result, 1,700 megabytes per second write and 1,250 read. Okay, so this is 1,700 and 1,250. I'm going to put myself up there. Here we go. So this is what the iPhone can do. Now, let's go ahead and see what the SSDs can do. Now, the T3, as you might expect, is not that fast. This is what the T3 did, 193 and 256. Now, the T7, let's see what the T7 did. The T7 did around 700 megabytes per second write and 400. Here's the T7 results, 700 megabytes per second write and 450 read. Here's another. So, and then we got a T7 Shield. Let's see what that one does. That actually writes slower. It's slower speeds than just the plain T7. The T7 Shield results, 360 megabytes per second write and 460 read. So it's getting approximately half the speed that Apple said was available. I think they said 1,000. So it's getting like 500, 600, which is not that unusual, but that's one of the reasons I wanted to get the 20 megabits per second cable. That is one of the reasons. So nobody's going to the Creative Summit? Nobody's going? So far, nobody's said that they're going. Like I said, typically it's 150, 200 people go there. So, one of the things, let's do this. So, going to the summit, as you might expect, costs me money. Costs me airfare. I'm going to have to get Ubers some of the time, and I have to eat. So, one of the things that I'd like for you to do as listeners is buymeacoffee.com. Over there, buymeacoffee.com. This is how you can support me financially. Go over there and buy a coffee for $5, $10, whatever, a couple of coffees. This will be, money will be used while I'm at the Creative Summit, when I'm streaming live and doing other things. Buymeacoffee.com is where you can go to show your support financially for me. That's where you can do it. Any other questions? Like I said, we're going to have another one of these live streams this week, Tuesday or Wednesday, about 2 o'clock. I think I'm going to, thank you very much for the thumbs up. It's appreciated. I'm going to hold off on giving away the Final Cut Pro, the Final Cut Creative Summit Pass until next week when we have the full panel. Okay, maybe we'll have some people that are more interested in that at that point. The panel will be announced Monday or Tuesday morning. I'm not going to say it in advance, but we'll have a panel of people that are going to the summit, and we'll be talking all about the Creative Summit. All right? I think I'm going to finish up here today. We'll give away the passes next week. I have 2 passes, 2 free passes to give away. We'll give them away when we have the full panel on, I think. We'll give at least one of them away on the panel and maybe another one at another point. I'm not expecting anything to come out of Final Cut Pro between now and the summit. Maybe a bug fix, who knows? Final Cut Pro 10.6.11? I don't think so. I think we're going to get our update at the summit. I don't think we're going to get our update at the summit. I'm hoping we're going to get Final Cut Pro 10.7, at least a preview at the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Coming up on November the 6th, as we have talked about, these are all the different panels you can go to. You have to choose which one you want to go to. It's all intensive Final Cut Pro. Tip session's good. Networking night is good. You have to choose which one of these you go to at any given time, any given day. This is Tuesday and Wednesday. And the best thing about it is dialogue with Apple, Q&A with the Final Cut Pro team. We get a private session with the Final Cut Pro team at the end of the day. Private session with the Final Cut Pro team at the end of the day, the last day of the Creative Summit. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. It is appreciated. Let me see what else we have here. Videos. Here's another video I put up. Let's see this one. I put this one up. It's, you watched a little bit. My name is Richard Taylor, and we're going to talk about mounting this SSD to be used with my iPhone 15 Pro Max with this Insta360 gimbal. It's a Samsung T7 Shield SSD, 2 terabyte, and a small rig clamp. I bought it for my Lumix S5 Mark II X. The system works completely fine for the Lumix, and it also works for this Insta360. One of the reasons that I really like this small rig SSD clamp, let me show you, is because it has 2 different adjustments to clamp this cable in place so it doesn't come loose from being wiggled around. It has an adjustment that goes left and right, and then it has an actual adjustment that clamps the cable once you position it. This is a little video of the Creative Summit, what it looks like in one of their classrooms.
Show of hands.
Show of hands. Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. How can you tell them the concept is correct? The other systems don't do, we'll get into it. Multicam superpowers, visual effects.
That's one of the typical classrooms. So anyway, we'll be in Cupertino, November the 6th, going to Apple Spaceship Campus. That alone is worth $299 to me. I'm sorry, I just never thought I'd get there, and here I am going to be there. So we're going to be coming back and giving away those 2 Creative Summit passes the middle of next week. I have a panel coming on. I'll just subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll give them away. Maybe we'll give away both of them when we have the panel on. And all the people on the panel will be people that are going to the Creative Summit. Alrighty, I will see everybody next week, and we'll be talking more about the Creative Summit as we go along. I'll be showing people some of my equipment and stuff that I have, and we'll give those passes away middle of next week on Final Cut TV. I'll talk to everybody later.